Good morning everyone. Today we are going to continue with the chapter Life Processes. In first part I told you that we are going to study about 4 main life processes in this chapter. So today we are going to do the first part, that is nutrition. Nutrition, as I told you, means taking in of the food and then that food getting absorbed in our body, so that we can gain energy to do work, energy for all the metabolic processes to go on inside our body. Right? So mainly there are 2 types of nutrition: autotrophic nutrition and the heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic, that means in which the food is prepared by themselves. Auto means self, trophic means food, right? So this is done by the plants. As you all know, plants prepare their own food during the process of photosynthesis. And heterotrophic means, hetero means different. So taking food from the different sources, preparing food by different means, right? That cannot be prepared inside the body. So today we will study only about the autotrophic nutrition, which is carried on by the plants. You have been studying about photosynthesis right from very junior classes, and you have learned that photosynthesis is the process of preparing food by the inorganic substances, taking in substances like carbon dioxide and water from the atmosphere in the presence of sunlight, right? Carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and you know chlorophyll is present inside the plants, in the green leaves. Now these 4 components, these are very essential for the process of photosynthesis. Even if one is missing, photosynthesis will not take place. Later on we will take the experiments also to prove this, that all 4 components are important for the process of photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gets converted to glucose. This C6H12O6 is glucose. Glucose plus oxygen is released by the plants, plus the water vapors are given out. Right? This glucose is stored in the form of energy. The energy which is used up by the plants. Now some of the energy which is left out, which is not used, which is extra, that will be stored in the form of starch. It is stored inside the plants and is utilized later, right? Like at the night time when photosynthesis is not taking place, but still the other processes are going on. So all this energy, it is stored, or the food, this is stored in the form of starch in plants. Same way in animals also. The extra energy is stored in the form of glycogen. Right? In animals it is stored in the form of glycogen. In plants it is stored in the form of starch. Now how this photosynthesis takes place, we will understand in this diagram, which is the cross section of a leaf. Right? Inside the leaf, when we take the leaf, observe it under the microscope. That is, you will learn in higher classes how we prepare that slide. So when we see it under the microscope, we see this type of structure. There are the cells which are known as, these cells, they form the upper epidermis. That is the upper protective layer of the plant cells. Now these upper epidermis cells or epidermal cells, they are covered by a thick waxy coating. This is known as cuticle. So here you can see these are covered by a thick waxy layer, right? So this is known as waxy cuticle. Then below these epidermal cell, there are certain elongated cells. These cells are known as palisade cells. These palisade cells, they have chloroplast in them, and these cells are mainly responsible for photosynthesis because chloroplast is present here. Inside the chloroplast, the chlorophyll is present. So these elongated cells are known as the palisade cells. And below these, there are certain more, here also the cells are present and the air spaces are present in these cells. These are the mesophyll cells. These are known as mesophyll cells. Right? And below these, the lower epidermal cells are present. They also have a layer of cuticle. Now, in these lower epidermal cells, you can see here kidney shaped or bean shaped, this shape. Guard cells are present. And these guard cells, along with the epidermal cells, they are covered by the epidermal cells. This is known as stomata. These guard cells, they keep on opening and closing as the water enters or leaves them. When the water will enter through here, through the guard cells, what will happen? These guard cells will swell up. And when they swell up, they get stretched and they will open. So this pore of the guard cells will open, right? Here you can see they are closed. But when the water will enter, they will get swelled up like this. And they get stretched and the pores will, this is known as stomatal pore inside here. So this stomatal pore will open and the water, as it enters, they will stretch and the gas will also pass through here. So what will happen? Actually, when the sunlight falls here, the chlorophyll is already present, sunlight will fall from here, right? Water enters through these guard cells and the carbon dioxide also enters from this pore. So what will happen? This carbon dioxide, it will get reduced to glucose. See, these are the processes, these are the three steps which take place during the process of photosynthesis. The first step is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll present in these mesophyll cells, in the palisade cells, they will absorb the sunlight. And then this light energy will be converted into chemical energy, and the water molecule, it will split up into hydrogen and oxygen, right? There are light and dark reactions for the process of splitting up, but we will not be taking that. That is not in your syllabus, right? So the first process is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Second energy is, then this light energy will be converted into chemical energy, and the water molecule will split up into hydrogen and oxygen. The process of photosynthesis will take place, and the carbon dioxide, this carbon dioxide will get reduced to carbohydrate in the form of glucose, right? So this is how the process of photosynthesis takes place inside the leaf. As the water enters, stomata will split apart, a pore will be, the stomatal pore will open, water, carbon dioxide rushes in. when the oxygen is prepared here, that oxygen will be released out through this stomata. So what are the two main functions of stomata? A very important question also. What is stomata? What are its two functions? So stomata is a tiny opening, right, in the epidermal cells of the leaf. And what are its two main functions? First is exchange of gases. That is, carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen is released out. Second is absorption of water. It takes in water, and this water only helps in the closing and opening. After the process of photosynthesis, the water vapors will also be released out, and what will happen? Then the stomata will shrink, right? They will become flaccid and the pore will close like this. So this is how the stomata will function. As the water goes in, the pore will open. As the water goes out, the pore will close. Now in the desert plants, what happens? At night time, the desert plants at night time take up carbon dioxide, right, and they prepare an intermediate, that is oxaloacetic acid. It prepares an intermediate, and that is acted upon by the carbohydrates which are prepared during the daytime. This is what happens in the desert plants. Now, in the as I told you that four things are important. First is carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide, water. Third is sunlight. And fourth is chlorophyll. These are the four components or the four raw materials for the process of photosynthesis. Now, in our next next video, we will take up the experiments to prove that without these, any one of these, photosynthesis cannot take place. Right? So children, next time we will do this. Till then, you revise whatever you have learnt today, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe the video. Thank you.